Yay, it's time for Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. That's me, I am Lester Pipps, and you are looking at my show, Apocalypse Tips, with me, Lester Pipps. Is that me saying a lot of the same thing over and over again? Maybe. But hey, that's some of what we got to do when we's online. I don't know if you guys know about the internet, but a lot of it is repetition. And listen, if you're thinking to yourself, well, hey, I already saw this show before, and I know about Lester Pipps, I know who he is, I know what he's doing, well, great. Welcome back. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know who this guy is, why does he sound crazy? What's happening? I don't sound crazy. I sound like a regular person from Louisiana because that's where I am, okay? I have been going around the country prior to all these COVIDs coming out. Was going around the country, going door to door to every kind of place that would let me get in there and talk and giving important lectures on the state of how we's all going to survive an apocalypse. And then it turned out that the COVIDs happened and we was in an apocalypse and I already knew how to do it. That's right. I'm in a bunker. As you can see behind me, this is a bunker. It's not the bunker I'm in. It's a projection of a different bunker because I don't want you to see what my bunker's like. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole list of what's in here like I do most weeks because honestly, you probably heard it before if you're watching. And if you're not watching, if you haven't, then, welcome back for the first time. But I'm seeing in the comments that that one guy, Conor something, is back. And Conor, I got to say, what up, Conor? Welcome back. And Godsey and Burns is back too. 2 weeks in a row. Man, thank you for being here. Now, what I was saying was I'm in my bunker outside Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the backyard of my wife's house. She will not let me know. Hey, whatever. We don't have to get into all that stuff again. If y'all want to re-up on my backstory, you can watch the archives at EzraPotter.com/Lester Pipps. And that guy is my publicist. Ezra Potter is my publicist. Victor Crack Cobain wants to know if we all playing Jackbox. We're not. Ezra changed the settings. You might have to refresh your page to see it. And Brianna Jones says, "What a cool bunker." Yeah, thanks. Now I appreciate all y'all chiming in the. I appreciate all y'all chiming in the comments, and I want you to do that throughout the show. Okay, you can ask me any questions you got about apocalypse survival, or you can ask my guests who are coming up questions about their lives in the apocalypse and how they're gonna survive. Now. So please, continue to do it. Now, we got to get to the main most important thing about this whole experience, which is me explaining to you that if we're going to survive an apocalypse, you got. Indiana Jones says they got to ask themselves questions, which, feel free, I guess. Maybe I'll read them out loud. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. But you made me laugh, so nice work. We got to get into the thing, which is, hey, if we're going to survive an apocalypse, we got to think about what do we want to preserve into the future of humanity? And that's a very simple question to answer because obviously the most important thing is Louisiana culture. And the most important way to make sure people know what Louisiana tasted like in the future is to make sure they got access to the recipe and all necessary ingredients to Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen spicy chicken strips. So he's going to call Popeyes and see if they give it to me. Now, the last few weeks, I've had some success getting them to answer. Prior to that, I was not getting any answers, which was very frustrating. I believe I was put on a list, a do not answer list, but now I'm off it maybe, or I'm just calling better Popeyes. We'll see. I'm calling one that's located in Renton, Washington, which I've called before, and they didn't give me the answer, but now I'm calling it again. I hope you can hear the phone good. I always worry about that. But here we go. That's one ring.
Popeyes in Hollywood. This is Bron speaking.
I'm sorry, Bron, so you say?
Bron, a.k.a. The Boy. How can I help you, sir?
Hi, thank you for answering. Now, I'm calling on behalf of myself and the entirety of humanity. My name is Lester Pipps, and I would like to make sure that the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Spicy Chicken Strip recipe survives into the future of humanity after all these apocalypse. So, can I have it?
Yeah. Is this a delivery, or do you want to pick it up? Because we are doing in-store pickup.
Well, listen, I'm not coming out of my bunker. I'm in Louisiana at the moment.
Oh, right on, man, right on. So what do you say about chicken strips?
I'm looking for the recipe to your spicy chicken strips.
Sorry, let's give me 1 second.
That's okay.
Randy, keep the red bean and the rice separated. All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Lester. I'm sorry. I'm training a new guy today. He can't get these side dishes right. it's going haywire. I'm sorry. What you want the spicy chicken recipe?
Yeah, the recipe to your spicy chicken strips, please.
Oh, you know I can't do that. You know, Bronze, aka the boy, can't be doing that. I can't be giving out secret recipes. That's what keeps us on top. That's what keeps KFC at number 2. Keeps Popeye, at number 1.
Well, that's fair, but I'm thinking about more than just keeping Popeyes at number 1, which, by the way, this actually would do in the long term. I'm thinking about survival here. I'm thinking about making sure Louisiana makes it into the post-apocalyptic world. Okay, so I'm saying you got to let me have this recipe so that after all the apocalypses is over, there's still Popeyes Louisiana chicken strips in the future. And then in that way, think about that. That means Popeyes is number 1 forever.
I need you to rest assured that I and every single Popeyes employee signed a billion-year contract to keep that spicy chicken strip recipe safe and intact. That is the Twinkie or the cockroach of recipes. They are going to live through anything. So I need you to just, stay calm in your bunker and know that we will all die in our mauve and orange uniforms. We will all die.
Wow.
Saving that recipe. So if it's the longevity, if it's the survival you're worried about, you don't have anything to worry about because I will slaughter anything that gets between me and preserving the sanctity of the spicy chicken strip recipe.
Wow. Well, man, that is reassuring. I really appreciate that, the boy. I gotta say though, I'm going to keep trying to get this recipe. It seems like maybe you're not going to give it to me, but maybe some Popeyes in the future will, because even if you think you're preserving it, I'm the one with the bunker, okay? So I'm going to keep trying, but thank you very much.
All right. You know what? I that's a tinge of selfishness in your voice. I think you want it for yourself. I think after this all this blows over, I think you want to open up your own franchise, chicken in Louisiana, red beans and rice, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes. I think you want to get into that game too, and when this all blows over, you think there's any room for you to wiggle in.
Okay, AKA the boy, I got to tell you, that is not accurate, okay? Because I don't care a thing about the sides, all right? I'm not trying to get red beans and rice. I'm not trying to get mac and cheese. I'm trying to get spicy chicken strips, and I'm going to give them away for free in the future. But that's not the point. Right now, the point is I should probably let you get back to work.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Randy is about to stick his hand into the deep fryer.
Oh, no.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pipps. And, don't worry about us. We will take care of the recipe.
Okay, well, you take care of it, and then I'll take care of it, too.
All right.
Thank you, the boy.
All right. The boy out.
The boy out. Bye. Wow. Well, that was illuminating. Every time I've called the Popeyes in the past, they didn't say that they was trying to protect it. I didn't even think about maybe they's got a bunker of their own that they're trying to make sure there's Popeyes Louisiana cheese spicy chicken strips in them. Which, if they got it, then maybe I don't have to get it. No, that's crazy. I got to get it. Because if I don't have it, then how am I supposed to know that it's covered? Oh, boy. I almost self-doubted for a second. That's not allowed. I'm not going to do that. Now, the next thing that I want to tell y'all is, on this show, I got a publicist. His name is Ezra Potter. He's at Ezra Potter on Instagram, and he collects questions from folks that they can then ask me. And this question comes from at #Sam, which, he looks to me exactly the way the boy sounded. That's interesting. At #Sam asks, Lester, how are you doing? Well, gosh, I mean, nobody's ever asked me that before on the show. I'm doing okay, I'm in the bunker. I'm kind of alone. I'm wishing my son would come down here, but he's not allowed to because my wife says that it's not cool. But overall, I'd say I'm good. In the chat, we got a number of comments. I'm not gonna be able to go back through all of it, but Ghost of Ross T or Ghost of Frost says, "What up? Is it cool?" Yeah. All right, we got to get on to our first guest. Now, we got a number of good guests coming up on the show, but our first guest is somebody who I met when I was perusing a grocery store aisle, and that is Chocolate Hummus. Chocolate Hummus, thank you so much for being here.
Hi. Thank you so so much for having me. I am so excited to be chosen. I'm thrilled. That hasn't happened to me yet. I've been waiting for a long time for someone to pick me, and I'm here. Hi.
Hi, yeah. I picked you to be on the show because I've sent out a mass email to everybody who I've interacted with on the show, and excuse me, not on the show. When I was touring the country giving my talks, and you were one of those folks who gave me your email. Now I remember meeting you. We was in the grocery aisle, and I saw a talking hummus packet, and I thought, well, I gotta get their email.
Yes. Basically, I see a lot of people come into the grocery store and they look at things, they put them in their basket, and then they leave. The farthest I've ever gotten is someone has picked me up and they looked at me and they laughed really hard and they turned around to their friend and they said, "Ew, gross." And they put me back down. So yeah, when I got your email, I jumped on the opportunity. How are you? What are you doing? What are you thinking about? What do you do?
Well, actually, I was just thinking about how I'm doing. How am I? Because at hashtag Sam asked me that as well. And how I'm doing is pretty well. What I'm doing is doing the show, making sure that the world knows about how they're going to survive an apocalypse. And well, frankly, I mean, chocolate hummus. I got to know how you doing.
How am I doing? Okay, so to be totally honest, up until this point, I would say I was doing not great. My self-esteem was just in the gutter, like just always the bridesmaid, never the bride kind of thing.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of different options in the hummus aisle that aren't chocolate, and a lot of people who is probably looking for hummus is looking for more of like a savory, not a sweet.
Yeah, you know what? That's crazy. Because honestly, chocolate hummus, myself, I would consider myself efficient. When you have to eat something, sometimes you're like, oh, do I want something? Do I want something savory? Do I want something sweet? And with me, you can have both at the exact same time. Isn't that fun? Isn't that neat?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, I'm all about the spicy and the savory, not so much the sweet, because the only thing I want to eat is the Popeyes and spicy chicken strip. So, but I hear you. I have thought once about dipping them in a chocolate sauce, and then I thought, don't do that.
Have you really? Because honestly, I volunteer. I volunteer.
Oh.
I would love that. I'm not a traditional like chocolate sauce. I'm blended up beans with some cocoa in me. Isn't that fun though? Isn't that neat? It's not traditional, but it seems like right now everyone is stocking up on stuff, and it's a great time to be like trying new things. I hear people are making sourdough, and I'm like, try me. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst?
That's a very fair point. I mean, I think the worst thing that could happen is maybe they don't like to taste that much.
Yeah, maybe someone wouldn't like how I would taste. God, I've never thought that.
Oh, no, I'm not saying you don't taste good. I'm just saying like the combination of you on a sourdough maybe isn't like, it seems like you would need to be on a sweet treat. But listen, I don't want you to get down in the dumps. I want to talk about something else real quick. Okay.
No,
one guy Conor something. Oh, sorry, I cut you off. What'd you say?
Oh, I was just saying again, I am thrilled to be here. This is great. And I just want to say to all the people who are tuning in right now, maybe now's a good time to get out of your comfort zone. Try something new.
Hey, that's great advice. Especially when you're faced with a situation where you're like, I don't know where the end is going to be. I don't want to get stuck in a routine. Yeah, it is a good thing to make sure you try something new once in a while. That makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I got a question coming for you from that one guy, Conor something in the chat. He says, can you make friends with the other lonely items in the shelves, like high fiber cereals?
I try. I try really hard. It's just that I'm in the refrigerator section, and as you can see, there's no one around me. Everyone,
seems like all the other refrigerated goods got picked.
Yeah, they've been getting picked real fast these days. I heard that there's some flavored Dasani water on the other side.
Nobody likes Dasani water. That's some bad water.
No one. And quite frankly, like I said, I know now is the time to try new things, but Dasani's a dick. Dasani's a real big asshole. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying mean things. That's not a good look.
No, I mean, no.
Honestly,
I mean,
don't get Dasani.
what kind of things does Dasani do around the store?
Oh,
Is Dasani always making fun of people for the way that there's not water?
He's just got a real like sour attitude, you know, and like he knows he's not a great option, and so it's like he's overcompensating, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you know you're not gonna get, if you know nobody's gonna try and drink you, you probably gotta try and make your self-worth come from somewhere else.
Yeah, and I've tried really hard to talk to the gluten-free pasta, you know, because some of the gluten-free pasta is made of chickpeas, like me.
Yeah, you got a common ancestor.
We're related. But you know, they're a little snooty too. They can have some attitude. I get it. You know, Gwyneth Paltrow talks about you. That's super cool. The best I did is that everybody from the Bon Appetit test kitchen tried me out and talked about how unusual I was. And then you could clearly see one of them spit me out in the background. So good, you know, honestly, good for gluten-free pasta. Good for that chickpea pasta. I'm happy for her. I'm really happy for her.
Wow, I like the brave face you're putting on, and I hope you can find it in yourself to actually feel that way for her, because, you know, one of the best ways to make friends is to be supportive of other people.
Yes, absolutely. And I have really been supporting all of my friends around me. I'm like so thrilled when pine nut hummus gets picked up. You know, that family size just gets doesn't sit on the shelf very long. I bet they're all in really happy homes right now. You know, I bet they end up on a sandwich. You know, maybe being
well, you know, the end
like
result of all that is that they're going to get eaten and not be alive anymore. So maybe on one hand, you're coming out okay. Now, I got a question for you coming from Godsey and Burns. Godsey and Burns wants to know if your parents were a normal hummus and a bottle of chocolate sauce, and was their marriage frowned upon due to old cultural norms?
Oh my gosh. So luckily I am a few generations removed from that. But my father was a can of chickpeas. And my mother was a bag of Hershey's cocoa powder. So, you know, she was really popular. My dad got a little bit cooler later in life. I mean, he had a moment in the 70s, I guess. He never stops talking about it. But my mom was always kind of like, you know, everyone loved her. So we have a hard time relating. She doesn't understand why I'm not more like her. So it can be a little tense.
Yeah, I can
don't
imagine.
always feel understood.
Yeah, I mean, a familial relationships is tricky. Like for me, on the one hand, I feel very close to my son, but on the other hand, he's not allowed to come down to the bunker to visit me because my wife says that we're separated. So I get it, you know.
You know, maybe your wife would. I don't know, just throwing ideas out there. Maybe your wife would be more supportive of your son coming to visit you if you stocked your bunker with some healthy, fun snacks for your son. Like, I don't know, something nutritious, but also sweet. Maybe like me. Maybe you could come find me. Because I'm just sitting here. You'll be able to find me. I'm at the store. I'm the only one in the refrigerated section right now. So, yeah, just a thought. No pressure. But I am here alone.
Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, hey, that makes sense. I mean, I don't want to get accused of trying to trick my son into coming down to the bunker with sweets, though. So I'm not sure I'm going to go ahead and bring you in here. But I do have another question for oh boy, I have another question for you coming to me from the chat. At Brendiana Jones 21 would like to know: have you ever fallen in love with someone who's allergic to you? Have you ever fallen in love at all?
I fell in love once. But it was one way. It was a bag of pretzel thins. Thanks. His name is Gary. You're so funny. And the stalker at the grocery store put him next to me on the display. And we got to chatting, and he was just like so funny and so cool. But and he talked to me. He's like one of the first people ever like talked to me, and I was definitely like shy and a little self-conscious. But yeah, he ended up in another woman's cart, and he never looked back. So it's okay. It's my first love. Everyone has a first love that ends terribly and brings up a lot of pain, and everyone has a whole lot of time to think about it when they're alone in the grocery store. It's fine.
That's so
it's
true.
Fine.
Every time back in the day when I would go to the grocery store and I would be in there alone, I would always be thinking about my wife. Now, I got a couple of questions for me in the chat, and then I got another one for you. Eric Wago wants to know if I'm separated from my son. I'm separated from my wife, who has my son in the house with her. I'm in the bunker in the backyard. There's a lot of backstory. If you wanna really brush up on it, either a direct message at Ezra Partier on Instagram, he'll fill you in, or just go watch the archives. Now, Gazi Burns wants to know if I have custody of my son or if visits need to be supervised by a social worker. Well, we don't have any kind of custody issues. We're not formally divorced or nothing. So I actually don't. I have full custody in the sense that technically my wife and I are married and we're both co-parents. It's very complicated legalese that I'd love to get into another time. Now for you, actually, I don't have a question for you. I apologize. I misunderstood my notes here. I have another question for you, but
you don't have a, should I just go back?
Oh, no. Stick around, please. Because this question, I feel like you might actually want to answer it. This question is from @Courtney, who, wow, looks like it, on Instagram, @Courtney looks a lot like if you weren't wearing a sign. That's crazy. Courtney would like to know, what do I taste like? What do I taste like? Well, I mean, gosh, at no point in my life have I ever tried myself. But if I had to guess, I would say probably mostly sweat.
Oh, wow. Yum. That's fun. I mean, you seem really popular for someone who just would taste like sweat. Like I taste like a bunch of fun things. Like everybody loves that chocolate. And like you have so many guests, and it was so easy for you to get so many guests today. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Lester, do you have a favorite snack? Like what's your favorite snack?
I'm so glad you asked. My favorite snack is Popeye's Louisiana spicy chicken strips.
Okay, do you have a second favorite snack?
I do actually. It's the breading on the Popeye Louisiana spicy chicken strip.
Okay, so I guess I'll just cut to the chase. Where on that list would hummus be?
Oh, hummus is solid. I like hummus. I do eat it now. I wish my diet could be entirely Popeye's Louisiana fried chicken, but since I don't have the recipe, I actually can't eat that much of it. And hummus is one of the things that I keep in the fridge. I'll eat it with carrots.
Okay. So what's your favorite? I mean, I'm not gonna be like jealous or anything, but you can tell me what's your favorite kind of hummus?
Oh, I'm a big fan of that everything bagel flavor hummus.
Okay, so let me tell you why you're wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong because that's only savory. It says everything flavored. There's no like sweet sugar in there. There aren't little cacao nibs in there. It's not made with any like maple syrup or anything like that. I can be all of those things. I can be much better than an everything bagel flavored hummus. I promise. Honestly, give me a chance.
Okay, hey.
Please.
Okay, hey. Look, I don't want you to feel pressure to be better than other hummuses, okay? I want you to feel the pressure to be the best version of yourself, and that's all you can be, all right? And look, for me, chocolate hummus, I want you to be a friend, not a food.
That is, that's so nice to hear. That's thank you. You're totally right. You could just buy me You could just validate my existence by buying me. You don't have to eat me.
Nah,
Even though that
Honus,
is
I don't buy
my
my
ultimate.
friends. I don't buy my friends, but I would love to talk to you again. Now we do have to move on to our next guest before we run out of time. Just making ourselves be friends for free. But yeah, I have a question coming from me real quick. At I think Le Joie de Me wants to know if I think Hot City is the best sketch team on the West Coast. Now I don't know a thing about what Hot City is. I don't know anything about that. But I do think, in my experience, there's a fever that I've been feeling, and I would say Fever is the best team on the sketch teams on the West Coast. Now we do have to get to our next guest, like I said. The next sketch. Whoo! I'm crossing up my words and my worlds over here. My next guest is somebody who I met. Boy, if I remembered where it was, I would tell you. But I believe it was a musical open mic. What I was doing. Their name. Their name is long. Hold on a minute. Oh boy. Their name is Won't Take a Chance on the Rapture. Won't Take a Chance on the Rapture. Thank you so much for being here. Uh-oh. Won't Take a Chance on the Rapture. You're still muted. Do you want me to unmute you for you? Here, I got you. Uh-oh. There he is.
What's up, my guy? How you feeling? I'm sorry. I was loading up a bowl real quick. Get myself all nice and twisted, twerked out. You feel me?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Now, we won't take a chance on the Rapture. I'm feeling okay. You said man? You said so many things at once. I don't remember all of them word for word, but I would say I'm feeling good, and I hope it looks like you're feeling good too.
Hell yeah, dog. How you feeling? I'm feeling good as hell, man. Just chilling here, up in the bunker, how we do.
Yeah.
Just working on my new album and shit. You feel?
Wow, you got a new album coming out, even from inside the bunker. You do this whole album inside the bunker?
Hell yeah, I got the studio in here. I work remotely with my producer, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I just come up with beats myself because I got it like that, you feel?
Hey, if you feel a beat, you gotta put it out there. That's what I always say. Now, for some reason, I'm having a weird thing where my accent's slipping because I want to mirror yours, but I really shouldn't.
Nah, don't, dude. My dude, do you? I do me. We do each other. No, wait, hold up. You know what? Honestly, I'm pansexual and it's all good. Like up in the hood, I got hoes of both genders up in here. But fuck it, whatever, dog.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, that's not what I meant. I just meant that sometimes when I hear a vocal pattern, my mouth tries to follow it. But yeah. So you up above before the bunker times, you was a well-known rapper in what region? I forget.
All regions, baby. I started up in the West Coast, you feel me? I was born up in LA, South Central, my guy, Watts, homie. But then I realized soon that I was actually involved in the Watts riots, my guy. You feel me?
Oh.
So I'm older than you might think, okay? But anyway, so I learned real quick that shit can go down at any time and you got to be ready. So I did that. I got ready. You feel?
Yeah. As far as I know, you're the only rapper I know that has a Apocalypse bunker, and you're also the only rapper that I know.
Yeah. But hey, Jay-Z, he be talking to me. I'm gonna get him on some shit. Let me tell you, dog. He getting in this. He gonna get all about this right now. Him and Beyonce, they're gonna get their shit going on soon. After that, we got Kanye and Kim right up there.
That sounds great. Those are names that I know, but not people that I know, unlike you, who's a person that I know. Now, immediately, we got some questions for you in the chat. I mean, I have more questions for you as well, but the first question that I'm seeing is, do you roll your own? Because I got papers, according to Ghost of Frost.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my shipment to come in. Usually, I'm all about them papers. If you got a paper, you want to get them up to me, I'll smoke that shit. I smoke all day, every day. Wake up, wake and bake. Go to sleep, bake.
Hey, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to get a good night's sleep. That's what I always say. Now, I do see on your face there's a little bit of writing. Do you mind if I ask you about the face tattoo? Because not everybody wants to be asked immediately about their face tattoo, but that's the first thing that I want to find out.
Hey, Lester, let me tell you something right now. I'm an open book, dog. You can ask me any question. Like I told you, I already told you I'm pansexual. Yeah. Let me see if I'm doing this right. Okay, so right here. Oh, okay, hold up. This one right here, actually, that's a A, that's a P, and that's a R for April, my guy. Okay. You feel me? That right there is a 2. That's a 0, a 1, and a 2. That's April 2012, dog. That's when the world's gonna end.
Oh. Do you mind if I just call you Chance, or do I need to say your whole name?
You could call me Chance the Rapture. That's all good.
All
for
right,
sure.
Chance the Rapture. I have to tell you, 2012 was 8 years ago.
That's what they want you to believe, isn't it? The government actually stopped the time clock in March of 2012. So what you think is the time is not the actual time, my guy, you feel?
Wow. Well, I don't quite follow, and I don't quite feel because it doesn't make sense to me. As far as I know, that the time is what the time is.
You see, you understand time on such a linear structure. See, I'm more like a Tarantino film. You feel me? Like I'm all about jumping here and jumping there and understanding quantum equations and aquatic situations. Do you feel me?
Yeah, aquatic situations. I understand. Now, so a good question came just now in the chat. Something actually I wanted to know about as well. Did you get this tattoo prior to 2012 in order to announce that it was coming, and then when the clock continued, you thought, well, hey, I got to back this up with a conspiracy theory, or is that a new tattoo documenting the fact that you think that the future is the past?
Well, listen, technically, I got this in March of 2012, but to your infantile perceptions, yeah, sure, I got this in 2018, okay, January 2018. But again, infantile perceptions, my guy, no offense, all right, no shade thrown, you feel?
I deal with a lot of people's theories on this show, so I'm used to having people throw out ideas that are contrary to mine and then demean me for being right. And that's what's happening here, but that's okay.
Hey, right, wrong, it's all the same difference.
Mm-hmm. So you were around for the Watts riots, which happened, I want to say in the 70s.
Yeah, 60s, 70s, what's the difference?
Well, I guess that's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, if you don't believe in time the way that the time works, then I guess you could be any age and claim you were there.
Exactly. Now you on my shit. Now you feeling what I'm doing. Now you on my recipe. You feel me? Before you was cooking some chicken, but now we are both making pork chops. You my guy, you feel me?
Well, no, I think if we're gonna agree on cooking anything, it's gonna be them Popeyes chicken spot tick trip, or we're not gonna cook. Now,
okay, but try a pork chop once in a while, Phil. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, pork chops is good too, but there's only one thing that I'm trying to cook. You feel me? I can say it.
No,
too.
You can. But no, the answer is no.
Fair enough. God's Birds would like to hear you explain your pansexuality, which, listen, I want to say, I'm not one to put folks on the spot to explain their sexuality, but if you want to do it, now's the time.
Essentially, all that means is gender does not come into play when it comes to love and sexual desires, as far as I am concerned. I used to have this heteronormative belief that I was only into vaginas and feminine figures. Then I met somebody who was both masculine with a penis, and I realized I can be attracted to them. Then I also met somebody who was masculine with a vagina, and there's somebody else who was feminine with a penis. And I realized all those quadrants came together, and I'm pansexual, my guy. You feel?
Yeah, it makes sense.
It don't matter.
No, it don't. It certainly doesn't. You love who you love. That's what I would say. And who I love is my wife who doesn't love me. Now,
beautiful,
I do.
Beautiful.
You said you had a hose of all kinds. I didn't quite follow. I don't quite remember the exact wording, but you got hose in your bunker?
I got a couple of hose of different sectors in my bunker, you know what I'm saying? And let me be very clear on this. When I say host, I don't mean to be derogatory, because we talked about this with my host. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, y'all okay with that? They was not okay with bitch, but they was okay with hoe. So we determined that hoe was all right. And as long as I respected them and I showed them love, it's all good. Sometimes they call me horrible names that I will not say right here and right now on Lester Pipps Apocalypse Tips.
Well, hey, thank you for censoring yourself just a little bit. I appreciate that. Now I gotta ask you a little bit more about this whole time scenario. Now, when the world ends in April 2012, what do you think happens?
All the lights go off.
That's it?
Well, see, your understanding of lights is very infantile. Again, no shade thrown. Lights are not just what illuminates the world so that we can see more clearly. at least in a physical stasis. It is that same thing, but in ethical terms, in mental terms, in spiritual terms, it's all those things. I'm a little high, so I might have got lost a little bit right there, if I'm gonna be real with you.
Fair
So
enough. I think I understood it. I think what you're trying to say is that when you say lights is going out, you're not just talking about the physical lights. You're talking about the metaphorical lights.
My guy, you onto some shit. I feel you. Yes.
Well, hey, right on. I mean, that is possible. I mean, you absolutely might be onto something that when the word all the lights go out in the metaphorical sense. I'm just not so sure about this 2012 timeline, but you know.
Well, we could have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? We could have an academic discussion if you want to do that on some low key shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you already tried to convince me, and I'll say I wasn't convinced. But you did tell me that you wanted to debut a little bit of music on the show.
Yeah, I love to preview y'all one of my newest songs that's gonna be on my album. It's called Gucci Canned Goods.
Sweet. And is this about the whole time thing, or what would you say this song was about before we get into it?
Nah, this song's about, you know, if you're gonna have a bunker and you're gonna have your shit there, you're gonna be prepared. Your shit still gotta be swaggy. It can't be basic as fuck. You feel me? It still gotta be dripping. It still gotta be lit. You understand what I'm saying, my guy?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to have a bunker that reflects on the outside what you feel on the inside.
Exactly, bro.
Well, great. I'm excited to hear this. I'm going to vamp a little bit while you get set up. Just give me a thumbs up when you feel ready. I do have a question. Oh, I think that was a thumbs up. Okay, you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, hell yeah, dog. Usually I stand up because I like to give a performance, but I don't know if the camera angles will work. So we're just going to do it sitting down. Y'all ready for this? We up in this bitch. No offense. Apocalypse Pips with Lester Tips. We about to get in this. Oh shit, hold up. Pause. Oh shit. You know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I forgot my lyrics, so I'm gonna have to pull them up real quick because I just wrote that shit today. Because I could freestyle, but I've been working on these lyrics. So we're gonna take it from where I left off, okay?
Okay, yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah, Gucci canned goods. Gucci canned goods. Gucci canned goods. Gucci canned goods. Yeah, I'm good in the hood and deep in the woods. Cause I got the Gucci canned goods. Yeah, I'm good in the hood and good in the woods. Cause I got the Gucci canned goods. Listen up. Live from the bunker. Gucci canned goods to save off the hunger. Ain't nobody can steal my swag cause I got the Glock with the 43 mags. But more important, the Gucci handbag to carry the canned goods and extra sandbags. Commode Versace, if you shit, Spittoon, that's Louis. If you spit, beanbags, chinchilla, so you can't sit. Cause some propane tanks so we can get lit. Panic room so you can throw a fit. And tons of costs, you're tired of all of it. I also go weed, so please take a hit. Also take up a stage so we can do some skits. But not fun fever, that shit ain't legit. Just keep your mouth shut, got no work permit. Yeah. But you can't good. Ran out of breath a little there, but you feel me? But I think y'all get the idea, though. You know what I'm saying? I'll end it there. I'm good in the hood and deep in the woods. Cause I got the Gucci canned goods. I'm good in the hood and I'm good in the woods. Cause I got the Gucci canned goods.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That was great. There was a line in there that I think you mentioned, the sketch team
like
fever.
The fever line, right? That shit is dope. I've been into some low key like underground LA sketch comedy, and I've been following these sketch people, right? And I love a couple teams. I love Hot City, mostly Hot City. There's a couple other okay ones, but Hot City, and then I have one that I just can't stand, and that's Fever.
Huh. All right. Well, hey, I don't want to get in the middle of a rap beef, but I remember watching a Fever video where they pretty effectively shut down Hot City in a rap.
They don't know Hot City's coming back. Hot City's coming back. They have no idea, but it's all good.
Well, I'm excited to see that. I think everybody should be excited to see that. Now, that was a great song. I mean, honestly, that was fantastic. I would love to hear that like with an album mix, because you know, it would be better than on the Zoom quality. I would love it.
For real, it's coming to your ears, Lopes, real soon.
That's exciting. Now, people, is there Is there really a place in real life that people can find your music?
At the moment, no, I'm keeping on the low, but y'all find it. It'll come into you soon.
Awesome. Well, I have do I have questions for you in the chat? I have a lot of people saying this is great. I got a couple people putting fire. Somebody says I'm tickled pink. Somebody says, wow, that's talent. Brendiana Jones says, all I heard is Hot City as a hoe, but we don't need to get back into that again.
But as we learned today, Brandiana Jones, hoe, it can be a positive terminology. So maybe they are hoes.
Now, I got a question coming to me from somebody on Instagram through my producer at Ezra Partia. You send questions to him, he'll send them to me. At Victor_Crack Cobain, who, yeah, I imagine if you took that wig and hat off and washed your face, he would look exactly like you. Says, why does the government deny that we're stuck in March 2012? Well, honestly, in my opinion, what I think is that the government's not denying it because they don't even have an awareness that anybody thinks it.
Well, see, that's where you would be wrong. See, the government is denying it because if the world was to officially end, they would be out of a job. You feel me? And the one thing that they worry about the most is keeping their money, which I'm about too. Hey, look, if I'm being real, I'm about my money, but I ain't overstepping over a bunch of innocent people to do it. You feel me? Except for the one time that I did get that diamond. We won't talk about that. Other than that, I don't step on innocent people. You feel?
Yeah. Hey, I hear that, but I do want to know a little bit about the diamond.
Nah, we gonna talk about that. It's a dark time, my guy.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we do have to move on to our next guest. Stick around. Definitely, if you got any questions for him, you feel free to ask. Chocolate Hummus, if you have questions for anybody, you're welcome to chime in as well. I may have forgotten to say that before. But no pressure. Neither of you have to do anything, but you're both welcome to. Now, our next guest is somebody who I met.
Yes, I do have a question. Hi.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, you.
What up, Taco Hum? How you feeling, girl?
I'm great. I'm just feeling like I don't know. I feel like would you like to come to the store and buy me? We could like hang out. I don't know, just an idea.
I'm not leaving the bunker right now, but I can send someone to see if it's good. They taste it for me. If it's poison and they die and they don't come back, then I know not to go send another person to go get it. But if they think it's all right, then they bring it back to me, you feel?
It just seems like you and your host are having a really good time, and I think I could add some really positive vibes to that. So
Yeah, for real. Okay.
Sounds like Chocolate Hummus wants to become Chocolate Hummus. Now we do have to move on to our next guest, so you can laugh at that on your own time. Our next guest is somebody who I met when I was out and about. Now I don't exactly remember which city, but I'm sure we'll find out. Their name's Conor the Explorer. Conor, thank you so much for being here.
What's up? This has been super fun thus far. It's so much talent on this stream. It's so cool to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hey, thank you for being here. Now I gotta ask you about this backdrop. It looks like you living in a bowl of soup.
Oh, my life is food. I live to eat to live, travel to eat to travel. And this is a recent dish I had in one of the Asian ones.
Oh, you don't remember which country it was in?
It was one of them. When you travel as much as me, they all kind of blend into one thing. But I remember for sure it was somewhere where it was probably Asia.
Okay, fair enough. Now, if I remember correctly from when we met before, you're somebody who you do your own travel show. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm trying. I've been pitching a lot, and by pitching, I mean recording myself when I travel, emailing it to the email addresses like executive at travelchannel.com or like recruiting at travelchannel.com. But I'm really blessed because my parents got incarcerated 2 years ago, and I got to hold all of their money and be in charge of it. So I've been using that money to travel. You know, I've been using that money to explore, and I've been using that money to be honest. Like, can I get serious?
Yeah, hey, get as serious as you need. That's what this show is here to really help people, make sure they know how to survive apocalypse. So go right ahead.
Man, here's the thing. Anthony Bourdain died, man. He died.
I remember that.
And then someone else has to fill his shoes. And people have tried, but if you watch these cooking travel shows, have you watched any of them? They're horrible. They're horrible. These aren't people that relate. These aren't people that get in the grind. Can I tell you something? Do you know why I look sleepy right now?
I don't.
Because I'm on Asian time right now. I don't even sleep on an American time schedule. I pick a different country in Southeast Asia or the Pacific, and I operate and have my circadian rhythms on that time zone. So I'm ready to go in a second. So if anyone is watching this from a Food Network, Travel Network, I mean, Vice, because I swear a lot, consider this, man. I've had some adventures. Man. And we have that in common. We both like food.
Sure. Yeah, I like one specific food. Sounds like you like a lot of different foods, which is very exciting to me. I mean, how would you compare the Popeyes Louisiana spicy chicken strips to the in New Orleans to the ones at other parts of the country?
Oh God, man. Where do you even begin? One time I was on a layover in Taipei and I was looping through Bangkok on the way to Shanghai to then go see my boy Rick in Kyoto. And I got these chicken tenders from this lady on the street, and she was just the oldest lady I'd ever seen. And she was so small and she was so little, but I smelled this chicken and I followed the smell, and I went to the stand. This woman looked up at me, and she'd probably never seen someone like me before, never seen, 5'11" and 3/4 guy who grew up in Colorado, who can lift weights, even though he doesn't look like he can lift weights. She probably never even seen that. And she looks up at me and she said something in a language I didn't understand, but you know what, man? Food is a universal language. So I know what she was saying was, I've been cooking for 70 years, waiting for you, and now you're here. Here you go. And she gave me this food, and she didn't even ask me to pay, so I just ran away really fast.
Oh, no.
And I took a bite of this chicken. And what was the question?
Well, honestly, I don't remember either. I got engrossed into this story. I really enjoyed the story. So it sounds like the story is you saw an old lady on the street, you took her food, you ran away.
Something like that. But in fairness, I was a little out of it because I was a little bit sick. I just was coming back from a big trip I did in China this December.
Which was China this December.
Oh my God, what a country.
Boy.
I ate so much food. There was this one place, and I told some of my fans that I think are here, I was gonna give some travel tips. If you are in China, there's a place called the Hunan Seafood Wholesale Market. Now, you're not supposed to go there because it's just for wholesalers. It's just for people that own restaurants. It's in the Wuhan province. But I snuck in, and I had some of the tastiest seafood you could ever get. It was sick.
Conor, that's known to be the epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak.
Oh, man, coincidence. Because I was there. Let me tell you this. This is how good it was. I went the first day. I felt really sick. The second day, someone told me about a witch doctor that gave me bat feces. I drank it all. I rubbed it in my eyes and my mouth. I go back to the seafood market. I'm having sashimi. I'm eating shrimp. I'm grabbing fresh tuna and just acting like I'm supposed to be there. So good. I get really sick that night. But your boy had to come back a third day.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was sick. I mean, honestly, I had to leave right after that because I was feeling really bad. But for me, when I get back to America, what do you would probably think, right? I come back from a huge trip in China. I come home. You probably think I would just want to rest for a couple of weeks. Am I wrong?
Yeah, for me, when I come back from a trip, I try to see my wife and child. They don't let me, but I try.
No way, man. I don't have a wife or a child or a pet. I come back from China, though, and I'm feeling like really bad. But I remember that Anthony Bourdain would travel when he was sick. So I'm flying domestic. I'm taking buses. I'm going to buffets. I'm going to sporting events. Am I coughing constantly? Yes. Am I eating? Yes. It was the best time. It was the best time.
Wow. I don't know if anybody's heard of contact tracing, but I feel like we just did a lot of it. Oh, my. Well, I got some questions for you coming in the chat. But you know what? I'm going to ignore all of them because I got to follow up on that. So you got COVIDs in Wuhan, and then you came back to the States and you travel around the States giving people COVIDs. You realize that, right? Man,
I watched some outtakes from Anthony Bourdain season 3, and he talked about how when he would get sick, you get back out there, and he said it's rude to not eat another culture's food. So when I was repeatedly going to the Hunan wholesale seafood market in Wuhan province, it was because I didn't want to be offensive. I didn't want to be some, if I can say it, like typical white privilege who just like goes to the bubblegum shrimp company. No, I was living it. And like, it was I don't know, man. I think I did it. Yeah, I think I did it.
Yeah, you for sure did it because it's like you just, I mean, maybe just describe your symptoms a little bit. Like, how was you feeling when you came out of Wuhan?
It wasn't good. I was putting so much sriracha on everything because I just couldn't taste food.
Oh
So I
yeah.
was carrying all this hot sauce and I was
no.
like shaking a little bit, couldn't breathe, coughing constantly, really coming out of both ends. But I was just like, I don't know, what would Anthony Bourdain do? He would go to an NFL game. He would then get a pass to go to an Oscars after party and shake Tom Hanks's hand because he was in Forrest Gump. Like, this is what I had to do, you know? I kissed Rita Wilson on the mouth. Yes, I got into an Oscars after party because of my boy Little T. I was feeling really sick, but I put a bunch of makeup on. I saw Tom Hanks. I shook his hand. I kissed his wife. It was one of the coolest nights of my life.
Oh, I said Tom Cruise by accident, but I did mean Tom Hanks. I'm glad you.
Oh no, Tom Cruise ripped too. I've seen that guy before as well.
Oh, cool. I mean, not cool because it sounds like you probably gave him COVIDs, but cool because he's Mission Impossible. Now, I gotta ask you. You seem like you're doing just fine right now. Are you still feeling sick at all?
I've come back to normal. As of the past 4 days, I'm feeling a lot better, and I think one of the reasons is like, when you feel bad, you got to get out there, So I've been supporting local businesses in Los Angeles by like going to neighborhoods I've never been to before, seeing signs that are in a language I don't understand, walking in and just saying, give me everything, pulling my mask up so people can see I'm smiling, right? Because it's not white privilege, it's curiosity. And I want them to see that curiosity. Even if they're yelling, sometimes people yell because they're excited. So I'm out here, man. I'm not staying in. You can't lock. Anthony Bourdain never got locked down.
That's true, but Anthony Bourdain never had a deadly virus that he was spreading incoherently everywhere. So, and then maybe he did actually, and we don't know, but we sure do know that you did. Boy, oh boy. Now, I got a question coming to you from the chat that I'm going to ask you this time. I ignored some of them, but I'm going with this one. Have you ever traveled to any retirement facilities? And how's the food?
Let me tell you, people don't take advantage of the wisdom of the elderly. I literally have 3 friends under the age of 67, and I only communicate with them digitally. So for me, it's all about spending time with both elderly people that I know and ones that I don't. The look on people's faces when I put on a nurse's uniform to get inside of the retirement community so no one stops me and go from room to room, just like hugging, sharing food, singing songs, like whoever asked that probably gets it. Like, yeah. Spread love, man. Spread joy. Fuck yeah.
The one who asked that was that one guy, Conor something. And honestly, I don't know his opinions. If he chimes in with his answer to that in the chat, I'll say it out loud.
Oh, Conor's a cool name.
I do have a question coming to me via my producer, no, what do I call him? Publicist, at Ezra Party on Instagram, who you can send questions to if you want to. The question comes from at Michael_O_Burns on Instagram, who says, what's the craziest thing you've eaten this year? Oh, for me, that's an easy answer. I did get in the mail the last week some opossum nuggets from a woman who was on the show last week. She sent me a batch of opossum nuggets. I tried them because I told her I would, and I gotta say, they don't have a thing on chicken nuggets. What about you, Conor?
Oh, wait. So the question, what's the craziest thing you've eaten that someone's eaten? I mean, for me, when I really think back, I know I should say this year, but man, in 2012, I'm traveling in Saudi Arabia and I eat this camel meat. And I'd never had camel before. And I'm there, it's hot, I'm in the desert, and I loved it. I just started spending time around these camels. I was eating their meat, I was riding them, I was kissing them. And like, I got pretty sick, but it was really good, so I didn't stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It seems like your whole life is mostly you eating, getting sick, and spreading that sickness to other people.
Hi. Yeah, I would just like to chime in. I would just like to chime in so quickly. I'm so curious. Hi, Conor. So it seems like you've tried like so many things. How much do you like chocolate hummus? I'm assuming you've tried that, right?
Honestly, I hate to say this because I respect all people, but I've never seen someone buy you, but every time I'm in a store and someone lingers over you, they are white. And because like I disown my white privilege, I will only eat things if I see someone who speaks a language I don't understand by it.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. But I would recommend people check her out, buy her, take her to meet your grandparents, get out there, live life, try it, close it, give it to someone else, breathe on it, live life.
Absolutely. Well, we're coming up on the end of the show. I just want to say really quick, I noticed that at Michael_O_Burns on Instagram looks a lot like Conor the Explorer. Now, but I do have one last thing for everybody. If everybody could just, if you have one piece of advice you wanted our listeners to know about how they best serve the apocalypse, and if you could keep it short because we're running out of time, please go ahead. First up, Chocolate Hummus. Any last words for our listeners?
Now is the time to just try something new. Go out on a limb, take some risks. I don't know, smile at a stranger under your mask, of course. Buy me. Please, if you see chocolate hummus at the store, just try it. Just try it. I'm good. I'm interested in these. Something you can laugh about, please?
Okay, we get it there, Chocolate Hummus. Okay, last words from you. Won't take a chance on the Rapture?
Yeah, baby. What I'm saying is keep it loose, keep it tight, keep it wrong, and keep it right. Feel the love and the hate. And sometimes you have to appropriate.
Fair enough. I enjoyed the rhyme. I'm not sure about the last sentiment. As a person from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I try not to appropriate anything specific. For sure, I'm not appropriating Louisiana culture. Conor, any last words from you?
Oh, I'm tearing up from that verse. I just want to say, just because it's an apocalypse doesn't mean you can't travel, Buy a doctor's uniform, put on the doctor's outfit, go to the airport, let them cheer for you like a hero, get on a plane, and just eat your feelings and eat through a culture, okay? But, be careful about your whiteness.
Okay, well, I can agree with that last part, careful about your whiteness. I can agree with that part about eating your feelings. I've been doing a little too much of that myself, but probably stay home. Please stay home. Help flatten the curve. Everybody help flatten the curve. Now, that's all the time we have on the show. Thank you to my guests for being here. Thank you to the listeners for listening. Thank you to the viewers for viewing. And yeah, thank you to the Pack Theater for giving us this opportunity to get the word out on how we're going to survive apocalypse. We are on this Twitch channel every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Pacific. And that's all thanks to the Pack letting us have this place to talk. So if you could donate a little bit of cash to them, that'd be great. It's at Pack-Theater on Venmo. Help keep live comedy and very important apocalypse tip streams alive. Thank you all very much one more time. And hey, if you're out there thinking you got the recipe to Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen Pictures, you send it on my way. All right. Bye for now.
Gucci can't good. Gucci can't good. Gucci can't good.
Gucci can't good.